Me, I tell it as it is. You can't go to somebody for help and don't know what you want.
How exactly do you ask someone for help?
Which a lot of times you're feeling because it's something you're doing internally. So I told them we was gonna make it to the Grammys. So, let me tell you something, Aujene. I'm not about to be going through this hanging up and calling back. I'm not about to be doing this with you.
Look,
Next caller. Next caller.
look, let me tell you something. Hold on, let me put on these headphones.
Well, while you doing that, I appreciate everybody that's stopping by. Talk to me. Like, this is my time to share my story with everybody. If you have any questions for me, be sure to drop your questions in the comments. I get to it. It don't have to be pertaining to anything that we're talking about at the moment. If you got a question and you want me to answer it, whether it's Teentalk related, whether it's related to me, ask your questions. We answering all questions tonight. But back to the conversation, legendary Aujene.
Boom, just like how we spoke about earlier, you got to prepare for the worst. And based on the experience that I just had, guess what? I was prepared this time. We was up and back in 3 seconds. That's all
Up and we moving.
that matters. That's all that matters. But honestly, let's get back to the story of how you made it, okay? Because in the comment section, they kept blowing it. I seen someone named Legend _6, something like that.
Sparkle. You remember Sparkle? Sparkle came down there with Lele, Laterio, La Ivan.
Oh yeah, I most definitely do.
Yes, the diva. She gonna be something in the industry when she grew up. So I'm loving everything she got going on. Sparkle, you keep it up.
Yes, you guys are definitely.
If I had your energy and I had your drive at your age, I would have been on somebody's billboard too.
Yes, most definitely a boss. I love everything about them. They came down to the radio station and they owned it. They owned it.
With the looks, like
they owned it.
He came up in there snapping, like, all right, okay, I don't know.
They owned it. Most definitely. She said, "Thank you, God." Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Honestly, all out the chair is hot.
The coordinating producer, yeah.
Okay.
She said, "Thank you. Got new music. Can't wait for you guys to hear." Most definitely.
Yes. DM us so we can get a scheduled Instagram Live interview with you as well.
Exactly.
But going back, Aujene, so back to this story.
Yes.
So here I am. I'm calling all my relatives, like, okay, can you donate? Can you donate? Can you donate? I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. I just gave you some money. Okay, first of all, just because you just gave me $10 don't got nothing to do with this call. I'm going to do something for a reason.
That's old. That's old. What you talking
about? Why are you bringing up something old?
Exactly.
So at that moment, I was very irritated with people because here it is. I'm trying to do something that's very inspirational. And me, when I do things, I don't do things for me. I look at it as I have 18 other people behind me. And if I fail, they fail. I can't tell them to keep faith if I'm not keeping faith. So I'm always doing the same thing I'm telling them to do. And if it's working for me, it needs to work for you. I'm just trying to alleviate any type of roadblock. So me getting to the Grammys is like, I told them we was going to make it to the Grammys. So I needed to make it to the Grammys. I can't just be that person that talk. When Desean say we doing something, we doing it. I need elements of that. It can't be, I don't know if we going. Like, he said.
Yeah. So basically, you're a man of your word, which
and I did everything in my power to make it. I started to GoFundMe. I went on Channel 3 News. I started a fundraiser. And I did all of these things to get.
What? Imagine if you would have just been like, no, I'm just going to focus on going to the Grammys. Forget school, forget Teentalk, forget this, forget that. It goes to show how it's a domino effect. How when you're on top of everything, things just fall into place. And that's just amazing.
Really. Just it be making you so speechless, but it also shows you that God will put you through different obstacles. And
yes, he will.
Because at that moment you want to give up, that is not your end goal. Like his goal was not to make you give up. So if you thinking about giving up, just know that's not his intentions. So he's gonna always throw something at you to make you go left. When I'm gonna say right, because I feel like when you going left, you going wrong. It don't matter what it is. If you go left, you going wrong. So it's just like he will throw things at you to make you continue going right. Because I was about to say, look, I'm about to give up. I don't know what I'm about to do. That wasn't his goal. His goal really was to just show some things you don't have no control over. And you just need to keep faith. And it was during a time where I was not keeping faith. I will always tell people, like, yes, I'm very spiritual, but I wasn't going to God about my problems. I wasn't thanking him for my successes. I will only go to God when I had a problem. And when I realized that I was only going to him when things went wrong, I had to call my mentor, the same one that I met back in high school, who got me on Teentalk. So I'm like, Miss Loretta, why is it that I feel like I'm communicating spiritually with the Lord, but I feel like every time I'm talking to him, it's like I'm picking him up off the shelf and putting him back. I pick you up off the shelf and I got a problem. All right, let me put you back. I'm good. You solved it. And they was like, you can't do that. Once you pick him up, you need to keep him in your corner. You need to keep him in all your plans. So anything that you do, he needs to be a part of it. It's like, can't nothing happen without him. And if you keep that mindset, it's like nothing will stop you.
Absolutely.
And for the people who don't believe in God, if you believe in anything that's spiritual or a higher being, just know keeping faith is what always keep people going. Just keeping faith and determination, because you can't keep your faith and be lazy. There's no such thing as keeping.
You
faith
need to work.
Lazy.
You need to work.
Get out there and do it.
If
you want somebody to help you, and your goal is to get known, it's like people match your drive, and I feel like the higher spirit is going to always match your drive. They match your internal drive. And
you are 100% right. And there are also many different ways to display your faith. You can say, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe. But even if we really gonna talk biblical terms, it's on paper that you can have faith, but if you ain't working, if you ain't being consistent, if you ain't got that strategy that go along with it, it's dead. The Bible, that's exactly what it said. The Bible said it's dead. That's
like, what you doing?
Okay, you believe, I believe too, but what you doing about it? You got to go out there. You got to do something.
That's what I realized. Along my journey, along me keeping faith, I came across people that want answers. Because here, the type of person, I don't necessarily show you what I'm doing. I'm how can I put it? I'm the person that will show you a piece, but you would think this piece is to that puzzle, but it goes to something else. So just because you see something, don't expect that, oh, look, I got me a ticket. And I'm not that person. Like, people, they take my kindness for granted. They take, because people know I'm helpful. I will help anybody in need. And they would take that for weakness. Like, all right, I know you going to help me. No. I tell people no. No. With a straight face, no. Because I'll be looking at people like, okay, and I keep the energy of, if I can't do it myself, who gonna do it? Right. That's why anything I do, I need to do it myself. Right. It's not that I don't want to be an effective leader and let others do it, but if I'm always happen to go to somebody to get something done, what am I accomplishing? Because a lot of people that start successful businesses and companies, all they had was them. They did every role. And I truly believe, even with Teentalk, all the teams need to fulfill every role. People need to fulfill my role. Like, I don't want nobody to think, well, can't nobody be Desean B. No, you need to be better than Desean B. Not only can you be me, you can be better than me. So that's the end goal. I want people to be better. I don't want us to be. You don't want people to feel like, oh, he don't want to see nobody else succeed. Yeah, I do. Beat me. Like, we both start off in a field and you surpass me and you make it to the big screen, I'm not going to be hating on you, because I'm going to be very honored that if I was that person that even gave you that chance to help you get your foot in the door, I feel blessed because I was able to see your end goal even when you couldn't see it. Exactly.
And sometimes people need that pillar and they need somebody to just, someone gonna say better than Desean where, but some people really do need that, that person to be that pillar, you know what I'm saying? Because I could honestly say that's what Teen Talk really provides. Not only does it give, you know, like the skills as far as being able to talk radio etiquette and stuff, the atmosphere and the love and the way it's like family orientated, it's like you have that support too. You can't buy support. I don't think you could buy support, okay?
Nah, if
It's
you could, I know people be buying it. Like, to get the likes, let me get the support. How much for the
exactly.
support?
And that's just a genuine thing that's based off of people's experience, the moments that they've been through, and just the whole mentality that they have,
He
you
said
know?
braid season.
What that
look,
mean?
look, it's braid season. It's getting hot. Don't nobody want none in their head and their
Oh,
face.
who you
Look, this
telling?
is me assuming what he meant.
Oh, I hope.
Because she's about to go with it. Like, hold on, I don't know if that's what he meant.
I go with the flow. I go with the flow.
Well, thank you, Mr. Dorian. And Mr. Dorian was actually the person that helped me get to the Grammys. So
Oh,
you've been able
wow.
to speak to two different people. Legend 6 was the photographer, and Dorian Gray was the publicist that helped.
Okay.
Well, actually, he's not even a publicist. He does so many different things. To me, he's just like a jack of all trades. He do it all. You got a question
Right.
on Mr. Dorian. That's how I look at it as. And just me opening up about that, just really just asking for help. If you're afraid to ask for help, you will never develop a good relationship with people. Because people don't want to feel like you're using them. Me, I just want that nurture. Because here I am. You've been in this field for years. I haven't. I'm new. So I just want help. That's it. We can get on the phone.
What do you feel like is the proper way to ask somebody for help? Because we live in a generation where it's like, we're so tech savvy, like, we don't need you, I don't need you. I mean, we got millionaires that are 18, 20. Like, so how, I know it comes with being humble because we live in a prideful generation. So I know that's one, but how exactly do you ask someone for help with the goal that you have without coming off as like, you know,
Strategy.
okay, what's your strategy? Drop that gem.
I always use the Teentalk because you have to look at it as Teentalk is a youth program. People want to give back to the youth. So if you're reaching out to people to get them on your platform, you're giving back. It's like one hand is watching the other. I'm helping you help the community. And in return, we get knowledge. So being radio personalities, the only thing you ever receive from an interview is knowledge. We don't get money for nothing. Half the time they don't promote the interview, but the only thing you get is knowledge. And if you know what you want, it's so much easier. You can't go to somebody for help and don't know what you want. They're not gonna read your mind. And definitely don't go to somebody for help if the questions is on Google. Like if you're able to just look it up, that's a different story. Because I hate people coming to me for stuff that you can look up. Why are you asking me what the weather is? Can't you look that up? Like, that's the type of stuff I don't like. But if you're asking me a legit question that cannot be found on Google, that cannot be found on YouTube, that's when I enjoy most about pouring back into people. Because now I'm giving you my all. And some people, they pick and choose what they want to tell you. Me, I tell it as it is. I tell you all the negatives and all the positives. And based off me telling you all the negatives and the positives, you can create your own scenario. You can create your own decision on whether or not you want to go that route or if you want to take the information I'm giving you. But a lot of people, they only tell you one side of stories. That's how they get you. Like even for Forex, some people only know the positive side about Forex. Yes, you make money. Do you know about the cons? They don't talk about the cons, but you don't ask. So it's like, if you don't ever ask, why would they tell you?
That's true.
It's like people want a quick bag. So if they see that you're getting quick money, that's what they want. I don't care about the cons. I see that you just bought you a new Audi. How can I get me a new Audi? That's what they're worried about. Okay, wait a minute. How many times did you fail before you made the opportunity to get that Audi? Because then they'd be like, oh, well, since you asked, I felt about 7 times.
And you'd be like, dang, like, hold up now.
I thought you just got up and did it. But that's why that perception and social media tricky too. Social media will really make you feel like a person is more successful than what they are based off the pictures they post, the captions they use. So it's really up to you to really decipher between, yes, this person is genuine or no, they not. But you just can't look at somebody's
Right.
page and be like, ooh, I want to be your friend. Ooh,
Right.
you got it all
Right.
going on. Because really and truly, they don't. They can just be somebody auntie at the party. Ain't nobody important. But just because they got a picture of Beyonce, you think she's somebody. That's really
Mm-hmm.
how social media is. And that's how people are able to use it to their advantage. But if you're one of those people that want to stay connected to positive, like-minded people, you pay attention to everything. The Insta stories, seeing how they are, how they talk to people, how they communicate and engage in the comments. Like, you have to do a lot of research on a person before you can say they're genuine before you meet them in person.
Right. So, what advice do you? Oh, hey, Councilman.
What's up,
We got
Councilman
council
Queer?
right in the house. So, what advice do you have for teens that fail over and over again? They just like, I'm done. I'm done. Because you can honestly, you can see people on social media and they like, we're the same age and this person got A, B, and C. I keep trying and I'm not getting nowhere. What's your word of advice for that?
If you keep failing, first you need to reflect. Why am I failing? Because if you keep failing, you're doing something wrong. So
Mm.
once you figure out why you're failing, which a lot of times you're failing because of something you're doing internally. So you have to fix yourself internally before you go to the next step. That's normally
Mm.
where people fail at. Because people think it's easy. Like cooking. Cooking, for instance. People think that cooking is all about seasoning. No, cooking is all about being dedicated to your food, watching it. Like, yes, you can put the food on, but if you walk away, your food gonna burn. So it's
Yeah.
almost like if you put an idea in motion, if you walk away, your idea is gonna fail. If you
Mm.
think that all you needed was just some
Mm.
training wheels and all you needed to do was just this, and you walk
Mm.
away, yes, you're gonna fail. People be thinking that success happen overnight, and it really doesn't.
Mm.
Like I was recently in London. I was on London on the Tracks page, and in his bio it said it takes 24 hours to build a Toyota, but it takes 6 months to build a Rolls Royce. I'm
Mm.
looking like, do you want to be a
Wow.
Toyota or do you want to be a Rolls Royce?
Yeah. And I can honestly say with our generation, we're more of that put it in the microwave. If it don't cook, if it take
They
longer
be the
than 3 minutes to
Toyota, but
cook, yeah, if it take
they
longer than
like,
3 minutes to cook, then we don't want it. So that's one thing that I really like about Teen Talk because you guys emphasize patience and development. Like, we're not just going to throw you out there. We're going to groom you into what you truly, truly, truly need to do. Because with the generation that I call it the instant generation, if a video is not 1 minute or shorter, we're not watching it.
why
If you
you
can't
gotta
cook
say
your
the
food,
instant generation?
it is. It's just facts. If you can't cook it underneath, 3 minutes, it's done and over with. So that's one thing that I can say I truly admire that definitely shows your characteristic and how that has spread throughout all of the teen talkers all together. Just patience and development. Because I feel like that's a key thing that's missing with all of us today, Like,
It really is. And another thing that I tell them, social media is not all about likes, comments, or numbers. So, like, I'll be telling them, like, if you do an Instagram live interview, people be feeling so discouraged when they only have one person in there. I said, don't worry about who in there. Worry about what
that
you
actually that make
said.
me feel good.
Because it's like just because at the moment you said it, only 4 people seen it. If you repost it, what happens if 1 million people see it now?
Right.
It's almost like when people are taping live shows. At that moment, it might only be 20 to 30 people. It's just a taping. Then once they air it, and I always look at it as an IG live interview is almost like, all right, this is our taping. So anybody who's
Right.
in this right now is participating in our taping. Once
Right.
this goes out on social media to the rest of the world, now this is where it matters. So it matters
Right.
about what you did during your taping. It matters about if you're looking at the audience or not. It matters if you're
Right.
engaging with the comments. Are you asking good questions? Like everything matters. And I'm that type of person. I pay attention to everything. So if you train teens to pay attention to everything, because teens are lazy. They'd be like, you'd be like,
Man,
John
why you
John,
have to do us like that,
you'd be like, John
man?
John, go to the car and go get my wallet. I don't see your wallet. Well, did you look underneath the seat? No. I said go to the car and get the wallet. So that's how I say teens are lazy in a sense. Like they're lazy in a sense. So you can't fault them for being lazy because that's like a natural trait. I feel like teens are lazy because they're preparing for their, I want to say, the afterbirth. Because like as a teen, everything in your teenage years is fun, and as a kid, everything is fun. The minute you get older, it don't get. It's not fun. It's not fun.
Well, why you say that? What got you thinking like that?
Well, because like as a kid, your parent be like, stay in the child's place. Like, I don't understand why you're in a rush to grow up. Like, I don't understand why. I was that kid that used to like sitting at the table where grown people talk to be nosy.
Oh, so you
I
was
was
that
that
one kid that
I
they
was
always
that
had to
kid.
tell to get away from the grown folks table.
Like, go in there, go play with the other kids, and I'd be like, first of all, why are you sitting me over there with the 5 and 6 year olds? They're not even my age.
You
like,
was too smart for your own good. You was that child.
Exactly. See, Sparkle said that's me, and I feel like the people, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is you get so much knowledge by listening to what they're talking about, and you don't get it at that moment, but you still keep it in your head.
It's embedded. It's embedded.
Yes,
it might not click now, but it's embedded.
But so when you see it, it's like, now I see what Nana was talking about. Now I see what Checker Fred was talking about. And I'll be using these little funny names because it stick to people. So when you think about it, you be like, yeah, I remember what Desean said, Checker Fred. People will remember these names, and it helps them remember the conversation. So that's why I'm always throwing in different acronyms or different life stories that makes it more relatable to people. So therefore, they don't feel like you just talking. Because me, that's why I never understand. I ain't like listening to people because you just talking. If I gotta feel like you just talking, then you just talking.
Right. Okay, so your network, like the way you expand and you connect with people, you obviously have a lot of different people who give good and bad advice in your life, I assume.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So with that being said, how do you plan on taking that advice that's embedded in you now and expanding that to where you see yourself within the next 5 years?
You and these questions, Aujene. You and these questions. But me, in the next 5 years, I definitely see myself being my own boss. And I say that now because I've noticed that it's been a huge train of everybody want to be their own boss. And I'm like, okay, that's cool and all. But just because you want to be your own boss, that does not mean that you're above that 9 to 5. So I'm okay with working a 9 to 5. Like, I'm truly okay with that because I don't have everything I need to be my own boss. Yes, I want to be my own boss, but do I have everything I need? Do I have a budget to support what I need? No. So that's where that 9 to 5 goes.
That's
and
common
if you work
sense.
your 9 to 5, and it's like if you work your 9 to 5 with the mindset of, all right, look, I'm about to work this 9 to 5 because come 6 o'clock, I'm working on my business. If you keep that type of mindset and that drive, that is what gets you to your success because you're doing everything at the same time. That is called balancing as we go back to it. So you need to be able to work your 9 to 5, go to school, do extracurricular activities, and work on whatever it is you want to work on. But don't feel like somebody owe you something because you're doing that. Because nobody owe you nothing because you chose to do those things. They can support you, they can wish you well, but they don't owe you anything because you chose to do those things. And that's been the biggest lesson I learned. Because I would assume as a kid, people owed me these things because I got good grades. I cleaned up around the house. I was doing my dishes. Like, you owe me. Where's my allowance? You owe me. And now my brother, he feels like the only way he can do something is if he get paid. And I'm like, now I see the difference. I see the difference. Because back then, I was working for it before I knew that I could get paid for it. Now, it's like he don't want to work unless he getting paid for it. And back then, I was willing to do it before even knowing I could get paid.
But listen, you can't be mad because that's the new wave of our generation. If it's not making us money, we not really finna do it. I'm just keeping it high. I'm speaking on the behalf of some people that just really think like that. Like,
and it's good that you say that, but that's the reason why this generation, all the people who are trying to be successful have one thing in common. Everybody has did something for free. And you need to determine what you do for free. Like, you can't always think, oh, I'm not getting money, so I'm not going to do it. that doesn't count.
Exactly.
That don't do it. Teen
Exactly.
Talk,
Because
for instance, Teen Talk I do for free. I've been doing it for free ever since 2016. We don't get anything from this. We just want to inspire and uplift. So if I'm over here doing this out the goodness of my heart, and this brand is so powerful, I have never had that thought where I need to be getting paid. I mean, yes, like you work hard, so you should get paid. But if I was to do this for 10 years, it did not get paid, I would be content with that because I'm giving back to the community. I'm giving back to the youth. I'm sharing my life experiences with other people, making their journey easier. So it's like I don't need to get paid for doing that. But in return, you're being blessed by you doing that.
right,
But a
right,
lot of people don't like doing stuff for free, like you said. So it's like, if you don't ever do nothing for free, imagine how many things you're missing out on. Imagine
right,
how many blessings you can't even get because you never do it for free.
right. I agree with that to an extent. I don't
Go
agree
ahead.
with doing.
Let me
No,
know
listen.
how you feeling.
I don't agree with doing stuff for people for free if I feel like I'm being used or taken advantage of. But I feel like if you do have the right mindset and you go in like, even though I'm doing this, even though the money's not here up front, it goes with having a humble mindset. And even though you can have a humble mindset, your behavior needs to match that as well. So
Yeah.
even though you walk into an atmosphere and it's like, okay, I'm not getting paid, understand that's not what I'm here for. Because just you being at the right place in the right time can escalate you to a different point in your life. And it's like where I am today is not where I'm going to be within the next couple of years. I
Okay.
really
And
can't.
some of the things. Hold on. I know you're not about to. I know you're not about to exit us again. Just some things I definitely have learned along my journey is when you help people, those same people that you help feel like they're better than you. And that's another thing you have to just remember. When you help somebody, you have to know that you're never better than somebody. Just because I help you, don't mean you're better than me. If you was better than me, you would have never asked for help. So that's just something to always remind yourself when you're that person, when you help somebody and they try to act like they're better than you. Stay humble. Just stay humble. Because it will irritate you. You will feel some frustrations if you help somebody who didn't have nothing and they try to come back and act like they're better than you. So it will frustrate you. So just because I know that's going to happen, beat them to it. What's your next question, though, Legendary? What's your next question?
No, with that being said, anyone who just listened and tuned in today, I really want you guys to really think about the things that were discussed and to just incorporate that into your life and embed these gems that were just dropped by our coordinating producer from
Let
Teen
them
Talk.
know.
He
Let
don't
them know.
he he works behind the scene, and Teen Talk is a visual display of where being humble gets you, because you just you elevate when you make yourself low, you elevate. And that very statement is what Teen Talk is basically a visual. It's basically
Take your
what you can
time, baby.
visual.
Take your time.
Stop. It's basically what you can visualize being on Teen Talk, okay? Because you never know where you might go. You know what I'm saying? So we're just gonna
Definitely.
leave off on that note. You guys collect these gems. Thank you for everyone who listened. Thank you for being a part of the Teen Talk fam. And taking time to be with our coordinating producer. We really want to admire people who work behind the scenes. I know you guys hear us and I know you see some faces, but there's so much more. There's so much history that goes behind what we do and so much work all together. So with that being said, do you have any closing
Before you,
statements?
before you, yeah, I actually wanted to open the questions. They had some questions before
Okay.
we go. If anybody had any last minute questions, Q&A, this is definitely the time to drop some questions. Or if you need some guidance, I can definitely help you.
Right.
I'm only 22, y'all, though. I'm only 22. But I can definitely help you with all the things I have experienced
Right.
and been through.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
For real. Forever hold your peace. Speaking, but while we over here, wait, Vegas is getting hot. Like, it's getting hot
Man.
when you're in your room with the fan on.
Man.
With the fan on.
Man. I stepped outside and I just went right back inside. Like, you know, being in quarantine, everybody in Vegas be like, oh, I'm so ready for summer. You know, girls be like, hot girl summer. I stepped out and I was just like, I said, this not it.
Nah, that's not it. And people be talking about something ready for the summertime. Like, did y'all forget what Vegas is and how it is? Like, I'm in the house. Like, I'm about to have my quarantine summer. Y'all got
I could say, if you are a light skin in Vegas, I give it about 12 months.
Why are you doing
I'm
that?
serious.
Why we only got 12 months? Like, why are you giving us so much?
Because Vegas only got one season, and that's summer. It get a little bit of cold, and then the rest of the year is summer. Like,
it rain a little bit, a little dribble drabble. Just okay. Well, I definitely don't see any questions, so I definitely want to thank everybody for their time. Thank you for participating with us. This live will be saved, so you want to go back and you want to get a refresher on something that I stated, you can do so. Thank you guys again for sticking with us, and stay tuned for more Teen Talk after this.
all right, guys.